Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to take a look at the Grindhouse Toys Necromancer.
Welcome to the party, pal!
Alright, and here is the Necromancer from Grindhouse Toys in package. And I want to show you everything that I got in the package, because the packaging of this figure is really special. It's some of the best packaging that I've ever received. I'll leave a link to it, the item from last year. This is if you don't know, this is a Joe Fest 2024 exclusive. I did not attend Joe Fest 2024, but I was lucky enough to pick this up off of the Grindhouse Toys website when he restocked them after Joe Fest. They did sell out in like 2 minutes. So I was lucky enough, and I do feel lucky that I was able to get 2 of them. He did mention that they will be coming back in stock soon. I imagine though they are going to sell out really quick again. This is I think from what I saw, maybe, my opinion. I only looked, I only had Instagram and YouTube to judge because I wasn't there, but this looked like the best exclusive from the Joe Fest. Just like last year, I'll show you the one from last year here. I did do a video on it. Okay, really quick, we'll just do a quick comparison between the two packaging. The one from last year, which is this one here. I mentioned I did do a review on this one. I will leave a link to it if you want to know more about it. Please check out that video. But you can see here, this is a plastic case with an opening like so. If you're, like I mentioned earlier, if you're old enough to remember VHS tapes, you know that they came in either or sometimes both packaging. A lot of times when you got rental, it came in one of these, and this was sort of wrapped around it. But if you bought one, or you for your home library, a lot of times they came like this, but not all the time. Sometimes they came like this. So there's a quick comparison. If you're interested, again, please check out that video. I'll leave a link for it. All right, let's get back to the review. But just like last year, there was this awesome letter from Chris Scott. I believe he is the owner, designer of Grindhouse Toys. This letter came with the figures. It is made to look a little dirty, like there was a cup on it, and he really just thanks you for purchasing the item. A really nice piece. He is this independent toy maker, guys, so it's a nice touch. It's a nice touch that he threw that in there. You're not going to get letters like that from Mattel and Hasbro and some of the bigger toy makers. There was also this sticker, a pretty cool looking VHS type sticker in a sort of pale alien glow in the dark green. It is the same exact size as the package, which also looks like a VHS tape. Very cool, very nice sticker. And this card, which I also received last year with the other item. This must be sort of a standard kind of a giveaway card. It does have a QR code there. Scan that if you like. I do follow him on Instagram, and you should too. That was how I knew when this was going to go up for sale. He did alert his followers, hey, it's going up on this day at this time. And even before it went up, he said, hey, today's the day. And I was right there, and within that 2 minutes, it sold out. So I was one of those people I think it went up at 10 a.m. and by 10:02 it was sold out. So I happened to be one of those many people that got the item in that 2 minutes. All right, now let's look at this packaging. This is awesome, guys. It is a slip cover. You can see there's that same packaging, or the same look as the sticker that we got. But you can see there, this guy, he's got so much going on. I think he styled it a bit after Skeletor from He-Man in the colors and the face. When we look at the item or we look at the figure, you'll be able to see that closer. But the packaging, even, it almost looks like a sort of a He-Man, a Frazetta type, pose picture. The artwork is awesome, man. This is just a great piece. See the sort of the movie credits here. You can see all the people involved. Fresh Monkey Fiction, Bill Murphy, who I believe works for he's the owner of Fresh Monkey Fiction. Chris Scott from Grindhouse Toys, and you can see all the people that worked on it. Does classify it as a horror movie, which is funny. Just like you would find if you guys old enough, you remember going into the VHS, the rental store, and you'd pull this off the shelf, take it to the desk, and they would hand you the movie. There's the rated R, some glamour shots of the figure, and that is the figure from last year that I did do a review on. It does have I guess that's the name of the character, Thaxis Vlaine. I don't know if you can see that right there. I'm not going to read that all to you, but I will get it close enough here that you can read it. I think I've got it all in there. Yeah, and it does mention the Dread Trooper. So this must, obviously it's in the same universe that they've created. The Dread Trooper was the figure from last year. Get this out of the package here. See, it just slides right out, and there it is. It looks just like a tape. See the figure right there. But they really went all out, on this packaging. They really did. It looks great. Warning, protective label. Just awesome packaging. And this figure wasn't cheap. Not only wasn't it an exclusive and hard to get, so those things make them more expensive, but this packaging, they put so much time and work, or at least that's how it appears. And all that's included, in the cost. I can't see getting rid of this packaging. I can't see someone just ripping this box open. Maybe you're that kind of a collector. I am not. I will probably have this packaging as long, as I am collecting. And I will always probably put this figure back in its packaging when I'm done, playing and posing with this figure. But you can see there's the figure right on top. A little bit of a glare there. Slide it out here. And it is in a nice plastic tray. And there are the soft goods cape. There's tape to the back there. And a nice little clamshell. You can see the accessories here in a couple more little Ziploc bags. And then here's the figure. So let me get everything out now, and I'll show you everything that we've got here. And now with the Necromancer out of packaging, you can see there are a lot of accessories with this figure. Again, adding to the value, adding to the premium feel of the figure. Not only the packaging, but with all of the stuff that you receive. Let's start out first with the firearms. He does have this laser blaster pistol. It is quite familiar. We have seen this with a lot of Eagle Force figures, but this time it is painted in an orange and gray. And I'll point out, you can see I already had it in his holster, and I've noticed this with the latest wave of Eagle Force figures. In the beginning, the first waves of Eagle Force figures that came out a few years ago now, one of the flaws of the figures was that the pistol or fire sidearm would never stay in the holster. If you'd go like this, that gun would just fall right out. I think it was a combination of the weapon being so thin and the holster being too wide that they would not stay in. But I've noticed with this figure and with the latest wave that just came out in the last month or two, they seem to have re-engineered it and solved that problem. So, thumbs up to Eagle Force. for listening to the consumer and realizing, hey, you know, this is a flaw in the design. We need to fix it. And it appears that they have. So none of the new figures that I've gotten or this one have that problem anymore, where I think nearly every single one before did. So kudos to you, Fresh Monkey Fiction. So it does come with that firearm or that blaster pistol. It also comes with this AK-47, which has been done really well. It does have a sort of metal wash over it and some simulated wood stock, wood handle, wood pieces. Very nice AK-47. This jetpack, really, really awesome. Metallic purple, a lot of silver in there, a lot of sculpting. You can see all those hoses and wires in there. On this side, you can see some vents. Very cool. I believe this jetpack came with the bullet head figure, which I do not have. I missed out on that one last year. So this is my first time dealing with this jetpack, and it is great. It is really nice. It does have two ports there on the bottom for these two blast effects to simulate taking off or you know, jetting off, or whatever you want to, however you want to call it. Very cool. Very nice. These are done, you'll see here many of the accessories are done in this translucent yellow or green. I'll call it green, but it's a very yellowish, translucent green, yellow. Very cool. So you got the jetpack, blast effects. Here is the cape. Now the cape is it seems to be a vinyl material. I think you can hear that. It is in a very nice, deep, rich purple. It does have this great looking tattered edge that also has some black on it. It looks like it's been burnt or it's been in a fire to kind of go along with those tattered edges. It does have a nice stitching seam here that goes around, because it does have a wire in it. It can be shaped and molded to fit the figure. We will suit up the Necromancer in the hood before the video is done, but very nice. Very cool. Very cool soft goods hooded cape. All right, we'll quickly talk about the hands here. There are 5 pairs of hands in the yellow green. There are 5 in purple. They appear to all be the same except for 2 here. We've got the chopping hands in the translucent, and we also have a pointing and a thumbs up, which we do not have in the purple. Otherwise, we've got purple and translucent fists. We've got purple and translucent trigger fingers. We've got, I'm sorry, gripping. I should say gripping. And we've got purple and translucent open hands. The purple has the trigger. There are no trigger in the translucent. There are also these, I believe they are forearm armor or bicep armor pieces, which you can fit over the arm. I'm not sure if that was the right side up or this is the right side up. There we go. I believe they go that way. They are again in a purple metallic color to match the jetpack and the harness that the figure is wearing. You can see there's a lot of sculpting in there. It's got a black band on the other side. So there's 2 of those. We've got this awesome extra head sculpt. This is one of the reasons I wanted 2. I think I'm going to have 1 figure with the Skeletor head, I'll call it, and then 1 with this helmeted head. Look at that, green eyes. It's got both of the colors here. Translucent looking, or green, same color translucent as the parts there, the eyes, and then the purple metallic. Really well sculpted. Awesome helmet head. Got 2 characters in here. And he's got these sort of flame effects. I think these are meant to go around the leg with the jetpack, so you kind of feel like he's taking off with that jetpack. I guess they could also be used around the arms or the hands. Oops, that popped off. They could be used around the arms or the hands, maybe when he's firing his weapons, or he's maybe around one of the weapons too, like maybe like that. I mean, you know, it's up to your imagination what you want to do with some of these effects. And of course, they can always be used with other figures as well. But I think that's what those are for. And bladed weapons. He's got a lot. He does have these katana swords, I think they are. He's got these sais, I think is the correct name for these. It's like Raphael and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's also got these. And we have these. So 4 different pairs of bladed weapons. So lots of options, lots of customizing here, lots of parts you can use with any other figure, especially if you have any Eagle Force figures, you know, Fresh Monkey Fiction stuff. These are going to work with those. Okay, so now let's look at the main event here, the star attraction of this video, and that is the figure himself, the Necromancer. And look at that, man, what a great head sculpt, guys. Red eyes, looks like, again, translucent head. I think you can see the ball joint in the head there. Right in there somewhere. It's got this purple harness that a lot of the Eagle Force figures that have the bubble, it's that same harness. So I'm assuming that if you have an Eagle Force figure with that bubble, it will fit over this head onto this harness. The harness does match the other parts in a metallic purple. That red dot there in the middle. See all the shading throughout the figure. And there's, you know, I have this buck several times over because I have lots of Eagle Force figures. But I will say that I think the paint job on this one is far, far more immaculate. There's just so much more detail to this one than those. Again, even though I have this buck already, it does still feel like a real premium figure because it has so much paintwork on it. I think you can see there in the blue, there are some, I don't know if they're cracks or scratches or burns all throughout the blue here. And it is all over the figure, upper body of the figure. And he's, you know, he's pretty much two-tone. He's blue on the top, he's purple on the bottom, but there's so much shading in the purple. A lot of black, a lot of gray. Even the bottom of the boots, the tread is purple, metallic purple. There's some pig holes down there. You can see all that paintwork. Just so much. It really just adds to that premium feel. This is a great figure, guys. There's I can't really say anything about it. The most obvious thing to me was the buck using that holster, but they seem to have solved that problem, like with all the Eagle Force this time around. And I can't say anything negative about this guy except maybe the cost, but you know, the fact that you get so much stuff, there was so much thought put into the packaging, into the accessories, the uniqueness of it, the limited opportunity to get it because it is an exclusive. Great figure, guys. One of the best I've opened this year. One of the best figures I've opened this year. I can say that without a doubt. So let's see. Let's suit him up. And we'll go over articulation. I missed that, but it seems like it's sort of standard now. It's got ball jointed head, ball jointed shoulders, elbow, and hinged wrists, ball jointed hips, double hinge at the knee. It does have a thigh swivel. Whoops, I popped his leg off. I was holding him a little too tight. Thigh swivel. There he goes. Double hinge knee, boot swivel, and a rocker pivot ankle. So he's pretty much got everything, I guess. You know, it's an Eagle Force figure, so I'm pretty accustomed to it. I forgot the ball hinged at the waist. So no diaphragm cut, but you get the crunch in the back and the side from the waist. So I was going to say the only way I think maybe to improve this buck, if they ever do, is maybe a bicep swivel here. I guess that would be it. There's not much else going on. I mean, he does get a good split. He can hold his weapons well because of the hinged at the wrists. This buck is pretty standard now with the Eagle Force stuff, and it is a darn good buck. And now with all these added paint, all these added accessories, this is kind of taking it to that next level. I think that I'd like to see them go. Definitely feels extra. It feels more than a normal Eagle Force figure, and it looks it too. I think that's coming through on the camera. All right, let's suit this guy up. I'm gonna fit him out. I think the way that I am gonna display him. So let me pause this. Here is one way. This is sort of the first option I thought of, was to go pistol, blade, and hood, and it is quite nice. I realized, you know, once the hood, the cape is on, there was really no reason to put the shoulder or bicep armor and jetpack on, because you won't be able to see it anyways. But you can see here that the cape fits quite well. Whoops. No trouble getting it on. Seems to stay on well. Just had that creepy head just poking out. Very cool. Chose that bladed weapon because it was a little bit shorter. Thought it just peering out from the cape made it look a little more menacing. But this is one loadout, I think, that I like. All right, a little something different here. Got my little flight stand out, and I tried to, in this one, put as much stuff on him as I could to kind of load him out. So we switched out the hands to the translucent sort of saluting flying hands. I put the flame effects on the legs. We put the jetpack on, put the flame effects into the jetpack. He is carrying his pistol. I threw on the bicep armor, and you can see there, you can get this guy in a lot of good poses. There he is doing the old Superman, hello, you know, at attention flight, but it looks really good, guys. This is a very, very fun figure. So there's one more loadout. But yeah, he looks really good. I still think that these on the legs, I guess they could be used for something else. I'm still not sure that's what they're for, but it looks good to me. Let's see, I can pull him off of here, get him a little closer. You can see there. Looks pretty good. All right, let's do one more. And for the final loadout, I decided to go alternative head, so you guys can see how that looks. Left the jetpack on, left the bicep armor on, switched out the hands, and man, he looks great. Went with the AK. Yeah, this is a great loadout. Great figure, guys. So much you can do to him. And again, all these parts and pieces you can always use on other Eagle Force figures. Great figure. All right, let's get some final thoughts and we'll wrap this up. A few quick size comparisons. Here is the Necromancer with 2 Star Wars Vintage Collection figures. We've got the Remnant Stormtrooper and a Scout Trooper. Now here is a couple of Joy Toy figures. We've got the Poseidon figure and the Bo Yang Fang. You can see they're just about nearly the exact same height. Poseidon might be just a tad taller, his helmet. And for the final size comparison, I've got two Toys Alliance Acid Rain World figures. This one is actually from Annex 2179. Both of these figures have videos on the channel. This is the Scapegoat and this is the Shock Raider. Scapegoat is a little bit shorter for a Toys Alliance figure, but not much. You can see he's actually about the same size as the Necromancer, and the Shock Raider is just a tad taller, like the Poseidon that we looked at earlier. It looks like the top of his helmet's a little bit taller. But there are some size comparisons for you. All right, final thoughts on the Grindhouse Toys Joe Fest 2024 Necromancer exclusive. This is a great figure, guys. I think if you're watching my channel, this is something that you're going to want. This is something you're going to like if you pick it up. I can recommend it. It is limited, so you'll have to keep an eye on his Instagram, on their website. If you want to grab yourself one, I do think it's worth it with all the parts and pieces that you get, with the exclusive packaging. A very, very unique figure. Very worth the cost to get him. You will not be disappointed. Overall, I think this is one of the best figures I've opened this year. If you account for everything, you know, the packaging, the accessories, the sculpt, the articulation, the paint, I think this is right up there with some of the best stuff that I have. And I think if you pick it up, you'll agree. All right, so that's the video, guys. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and if you like my content, please do subscribe. I do appreciate it. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.